Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of the Cheap Dragon Show. I'm Frugal Max, the Cheap Dragon, and today we look at little plastic people and their interchangeable heads in the first installment of Will They Bash? Woo! For some reason known only to the gods, historical miniatures tend to be cheaper than fantasy miniatures. But the Oathmark Human Soldier set gives you 30 little plastic people with 10 different types of head for about $35. So that's not too bad. Let's add some more heads and see how they look. Oh boy. Sprues!
Here's a sprue of Oathmark Human Soldiers. Notice they have the ball and socket head, so there's no neck on the torso. They've got little sort of necks built in below the heads. But if I want to use some of these War Games Atlantic Dark Age Irish heads, they don't have a neck on them. The neck is all here in the torso.
Okay, what have we here? A bunch of headless people.
I've got to put something extra in there to make them fit together.
I've always thought that a human without a head might be better off than one with one, but that's just a dragon's opinion.
Here you can see this is a standard Oathmark guy with standard Oathmark arms and a standard Oathmark head.
Let's see if they're mixed with others.
Oathmark body with 2 arms from the command sprue of Fireforge's Northmen Warriors, a different type of
looking
fantasy
good
sprue, and you can see they're a little bit bigger scale-wise, but they've got these big armor shoulder pads, so I think it'll work out all right. But what I want to do is put this head on this body, but the body has no neck and the head has no neck, so I'm going to have to use a little bit of green stuff to try and sculpt a neck.
Okay, so for those who don't know, green stuff is a 2-part epoxy putty that you mix the 2 parts together and it becomes this goo, and then you can mold it into things or sculpt things, and it's really sticky and impossible to work with, and it sticks to everything, and for some reason it's still used by everybody in this hobby because some sculptor in a magazine 30 years ago said they used it to make some cool miniatures.
Okay, so I've got my green stuff, tiny bit here. I'm just gonna get a little ball of it. There. Get the sculpting tool. Tiny bit of water on the end of the sculpting tool, not a lot. Just so it doesn't stick to the tool itself. First thing, I'm just kind of mushing it down in there. I should provide the disclaimer, by no means am I a professional sculptor or even a very good one.
Oh, we were not operating under that assumption.
I just sort of do simple modifications like this. Alright, so once it's about the size of a neck, grab the head.
Grab the head and block the view of the camera.
So stick it on. And now the spacing is right, the proportion's right, but still just sort of a big mess of green mush there. Now some of it could be this guy's like tunic here. So you can blend some of that in there. But it would be good to have some sort of delineation where his neck starts and where the tunic stops, I guess. So you want to have some sort of line.
Okay, now we got heads on. I guess that's okay. Spray paint time! So many angles to spray.
Okay, to paint these guys, I'm going to try and use speed paints again. I've sprayed them with a dark brown undercoat, and I put dry brushed some gray onto them. I did kind of a light gray on the faces and a dark gray around. Cloudburst blue.
Now we're painting again with the unsolicited product placement that makes us look somewhat desperate. And the paint goes on!
One thing I will say for the North Star miniatures, at least those that I've had the chance to paint, it's really clear what things are. There's not a lot of there's a lot of detail, but it's not like this little fiddly detail where you can't really tell what something's supposed to be. And that's nice. It makes painting them easier. I don't really have a plan with painting these guys.
You mean this is unplanned? No.
So far with the speed paint going over this brown and gray combo, at least you can see the speed paint, which is better than when I've left it too dark.
Let's see how they look! Hey, looking rather generic, quasi-historical, fantasy type. But that's good, you know, you want your background soldier types to not take all the attention away from your heroes and stuff.
Here we have some of the finished Oathmark Kitbash guys. Here we have our unit leader with a head, the big Knights of Knee helmet head from Fireforge Mini's Teutonic Knights set. Here we have one of the guys with the actual Oathmark heads on the Oathmark body. We've got a Frostgrave cultist head.
I like that nice pointy red hat. Dragon worshipper.
Games Workshop Flagellant head.
Oh, that guy is building up for the mother of all comb-overs.
This head here is a
Santa?
Conquistador head. It came from Wargames Atlantic. Here's one that I used a Frostgrave Warriors 2. That's one of the female warriors heads on the body. This one is Wargames Atlantic's Dark Age Irish.
Oh, it's our old friend, no-neck guy.
And there they are, all nicely lined up and ready to be eaten by a dragon. All right, until next time, if there is a next time, I'm Frugal Max. Bye!
Cheap Dragons, Episode 4, Scene 1, Take 2.
Everybody get in your places. Be quiet on the set. No giggling. Ow. I hit my head. Okay, here we go.